Alright guys, in today's video, we are talking about some interesting comments that were made by a developer from Insomniac Games. He was talking about the PlayStation 5 hardware, and he had some really interesting things to say about it, things that have led to a lot of bickering, a lot of back and forth, a lot of arguments, and so I just wanted to take some time to go over this information with you and just provide my thoughts on it overall. So if you could do me a favor before we dive into it and hit the like button to help the video out and show your support, I'd really appreciate that. And make sure you hit the subscribe button as well if you are new to the channel. But this is coming from Josh DeCarlo over at Insomniac Games. He is the lead character technical director. And so yesterday it was revealed that some suits in Spider-Man Miles Morales on PS5 will be getting realistic muscle deformation, so it'll add another layer of realism when it comes to character movement and what we're seeing. And he basically confirmed that this is being done through machine learning. And so if you're wondering where the arguments are stemming from, people are going back and forth now claiming that this developer at Insomniac either confirmed that it's using hardware-based machine learning or software-based machine learning. And apparently there's a big difference between the two. Honestly, I'm not sure what those differences are. I'm sure there is a difference, but you know, this to me just kind of falls into that category of it's not necessarily the amount of features you have on offer, it's how you utilize them. Just like it's not about the amount of power you have, it's how the power is used, how it's utilized. I feel like it's probably one of those situations if I had to guess. I mean, if you look at what Sony's been doing, specifically Insomniac Games with the PlayStation 5 so far, it seems like they're knocking it out of the park, honestly, and I fully expect it to get better and better. But anyway, let's go over what the developer had to say. So he again was talking about how they're going about doing this muscle deformation with the spider suits, and he said, not sure how specific I can get with the specifications for now, but you are correct in the assumption that all final deformations are resulting via ML inference at runtime on the PS5 hardware. There are no blend shapes, skin decomp, or traditional tricks of the trade, nothing against them. And he then goes on to answer a question that was asked by another individual, which is, you know, whether or not he's talking about this inference being done through the hardware / GPU. And he says, yep, he says it is. Now, it's just weird because the way he's talking about this, it really does seem to point in the direction of this is hardware accelerated machine learning that the PS5 is offering, but he's being just vague enough to make it so that there are others saying, well, maybe that's not what he's talking about. Maybe it is a form of software machine learning. Again, this is stuff that Sony doesn't really talk about too much, and they're kind of just keeping it a secret. Even the developer says he doesn't know how much he can go into the spec talk, which leads me to believe that these developers are not supposed to be coming out here and just revealing this type of stuff. And that's done for one of two reasons. That's because Sony actually just, you know, they're behind in some ways and they don't want that to get out because it'll lead to just bad press, or they are keeping some of these things a secret and they're just going to kind of let the games do the talking for them. I think that's kind of what they've been doing. And so, you know, my take on this, out of everything that was said here, the thing that honestly means the most to me is what he says to this individual who is basically asking Josh DeCarlo if you are getting everything out of the PlayStation 5 hardware, or if you're even close to it with the PlayStation 5 tech, are you just scratching the surface? He really needs to know what, you know, what they're doing right now with the PS5 tech. And Josh answers by saying, oh yes, we are just getting warmed up. Now, I'm focusing on that because This is what I'm talking about, guys. Like, we talk about some of the hardware stuff here, and I'm not an expert. We all know this. You know, I've been wrong about things in the past, and that's why I'm not really getting too deep into this, because frankly, I don't know all there is to know about this. What I do know is that Insomniac Games has been doing some amazing things on the PS5 out of the gate with games like Spider-Man Miles Morales, even Spider-Man Remastered, but especially with what we're seeing with Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And I can only imagine what they are going to be able to achieve with the PS5 hardware for a game like Spider-Man 2. And I feel like this is the part where people, they just completely lose sight, man. You know, it becomes an argument of, well, this console has this little technical feature and this one has that. I'm just going to be real right now. Like, I don't care what the Xbox Series X may have from a feature standpoint or from a technical standpoint over the PS5, because what they don't have is Spider-Man Miles Morales. What they don't have is Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. What they don't have are these awesome games that have not only been released already, like the games I just mentioned, including Demon Souls in there, and games that are coming out, like Returnal and Ratchet and Clank and Horizon Forbidden West. So that's why I'm kind of talking about this, because I do think it's interesting. It is always interesting to hear developers from Sony's first-party studios talk about the hardware and what it's like working with it, and to go more in depth. You can tell that they're really only allowed to say so much. It would be great if he could go further into it, but you know, whether it's hardware-based machine learning or not, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is what Insomniac Games is able to achieve, what they're able to bring to the table. And I'm just going to be real right now. Insomniac Games has brought more to the table for Sony's next-gen console than Microsoft has for theirs, than any of their studios have for theirs. I'm just being honest. That's just the truth. Maybe it's an opinion, but I don't know. Could you really disagree with that? I mean, look at Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. You know, I've seen people say like, oh, who would play Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart? That's like a kiddie game. Like, what? What is going on? This is what I'm talking about, man. It's all the rhetoric. It's all the back and forth. It's all the bickering. You know, where it's like there's a group of people where to them it matters more to be right about, oh, I said that this console was going to have feature A, B, C, and D, and it matters more to me that I get that right than maybe to just be excited for the games, talk about the games, talk about what this can do for the games. You know, it's ridiculous, man. And so ultimately, what you should take away from this, in my opinion anyway, is it's interesting that the PS5 is utilizing machine learning. It's up to you to decide how much it matters to you, whether it's hardware-based or software-based. But you should definitely be excited about what Josh is saying here about they're just getting warmed up. They're just getting warmed up. That is exciting. We've heard multiple developers confirm this for both of these next-gen consoles, and something tells me that Sony's first-party studios are going to do some truly mind-blowing things in the long run. I mean, we're already seeing some great results, as I said, with Miles Morales and Ratchet and Clank, as well as others, but I think we are in for quite a surprise. So that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. I hope you did find it informative. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.